Hi, I'm Jody Adams. Welcome back to the Rialto Kitchen. Today I'm going to make a pistachio celery pesto, which is a twist on a classic pesto from Genoa. I'm going to start with some chopped up basil. You want to chop it a little bit before it goes into the food processor because the food processor will heat it up. And the less time it spends in the food processor, the less it'll get cooked, the better off it will be. And then some celery leaves. Now celery leaves are beautiful, delicious, fresh tasting. They're great in salads, in sauces. I use them in vegetables and in pesto. Don't throw them away. Okay, and then on with the top, I'm going to pulse it a little bit and then add the olive oil in a steady stream. I'm going to do this until it comes together. Okay, and I would say process this to the point that you like the texture. Some people like it very smooth, some people like it a little coarser. I happen to like it a little bit coarser, so I am going to stop it there. Add some pistachios that have also been chopped. Again, I don't want this to go too far. And some garlic. Now, I always say you can't chop garlic in a food processor, and that's why I've chopped it ahead. I'm just adding it here. Okay, so the pesto's in a bowl. I like a nice coarse texture. You can see that. And now I'm going to add a little bit of celery. It's 2 tablespoons of finely minced celery, and you want this to be really finely minced. If you were to add the celery in the food processor, it would water out. The celery would actually, all the water would come out of the celery and dilute the pesto. So I like to do this by hand. And the same, add the grated cheese at the end. Now, this definitely is going to need a little salt, and I'm going to wait to taste the pesto until I've mixed in the cheese, because the cheese will add salt. And actually, believe it or not, celery adds salt. Celery is a very salty vegetable. Okay, so that's a nice stiff pesto. I'm going to add a little salt, a little pepper, and pesto, as you can see, is very flexible. If you don't eat nuts or don't like nuts, don't add them. If you don't like garlic, don't add it. If you want to add a little lemon juice for kick, you can. Not necessary. People often ask me how to store pesto, and there are a variety of ways to do it. One is that you can refrigerate it, which you're going to have to do if you don't use it right away. And what I like to do is put it in a narrow container and put a film of olive oil over the top, put it in the fridge. It's going to discolor slightly because the basil does oxidize. But if you just stir the olive oil back in when you're getting ready to use it, the color will come back. An alternative is to freeze it, and it freezes beautifully. I would leave the cheese out and freeze it without the cheese. And you can freeze it in small little containers. Some people do it in ice cube trays. If you think that you're only going to use that much, I tend to use a lot. So I would double or triple this recipe in the summer when you have a lot of basil, and then split it up. People typically think of pesto as being something that you use with pasta. It comes from Genoa, from Liguria, up in the northwestern part of Italy, right on the water. But I use pesto in all kinds of things. Potato salads, with fish, with chicken, underneath the underneath the skin of chicken breast and roasted. It's delicious. You can stir it into rice, you can stir it into beans, serve it with roasted vegetables. It's great. There you have it. Delicious pesto.